Hi, you are listening to Rocklaz Radio,
a podcast discussing inspiring personalities and interesting things. This is your host, Tanmay Shah.
Tanmay is an India-based NFT artist and an entrepreneur with diverse business experience.
This podcast is self-sponsored.
The best way to support this show is to buy his art, NFTs. You can also become his patron. Kindly share this episode on socials and with your friends.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Rocklaz Radio. On today's show, we have a very special guest, Dr TN Suresh Kumar. He is a versatile and multifaceted person. Though a space scientist by profession, he has honed his interest in various fields like travel, education, exploration, and many others, and assumes role of educator, explorer, theme traveler, adventurer, experimenter, and space traveler. He is also known as Mahayatri. Mahayatri is a great traveler, a great Indian traveler, and you'll know why. So he has been from the bottom of the ocean to the top of the world on stratosphere. He has traveled 7 continents, 5 oceans, and 155 countries. He has shared all his adventure and express experiences and journeys around the world through various medias like YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and he also answers many interesting questions on Quora. So I'll provide the links to all his links in the show notes. Do check that out. These are his highlights. He is the first Indian scientist to have traveled to edge of space, that is stratosphere. He He's the first Indian scientist to experience zero gravity flight that he did from Yuri, uh,
Gagarin.
Gagarin Cosmonaut Center in Russia. First Indian scientist to explore Sahara Desert. First Indian scientist to reach the summit of
Niragango.
Niragango active volcano. This is the biggest lava lake of the world in Congo. He's the first Indian scientist to visit mysterious space places like Easter Island in the Pacific Ocean to study the human rock formations and statues there. He's the first Indian scientist to visit more than 155 countries in all the 7 continents. First Indian scientist to visit Chernobyl nuclear station, which is after 35 years of disaster there. He has participation in mission operations for more than 30 satellite launches like GSAT, INSAT, and IRNSS series of satellites. Satellite control Earth station operations and test and evaluations. He is involved in launch critical and station keeping of maneuvering of geosynchronicity satellites. He has supported mission operations of INSAT 3B at a tele-global station in Canada. As educator, he shares many experience and educates students about space, earth sciences in universities, educational institutes like Indian Institute of Technology, National Institute of Technology, Engineering College, international schools, etc. He was a panel member of science discussion on TV media to benefit society, and he has been on many TV channels. You can see the videos on his YouTube channel. Uh, he has done Antarctic adventure travels and witnessed the in Greenland. Aurora in the Greenland, and the phenomena which happens up in the Arctic Circle. He received honorary doctorate in telecommunication and honorary doctorate in space science. He carried out Earth's uh,
Coriolis.
Coriolis effect test on equator, passing through Kenya, Uganda, and Ecuador. That is how the water spins. We'll ask him in detail about it. He's carried out tests at anti-gravity and magnetic hail spots, which is in Ladakh. I've also been there. Active.
Also in Gujarat, Tulsi Sham.
Okay, wow, interesting. Active, yes, he has done trekking at active volcano, as you heard. He has gone underwater for adventures. He's traveled in submarine. He has done scuba diving. He is a YouTube blogger, and he covers and makes videos on all aspects of Earth and his world travels. He has more than 225 videos. He's a contributor of vital information to Google Maps, and he gives a lot of technical answers on Quora to benefit thousands of students. He has taken part in tech talks, talk shows in engineering colleges and educational institutions, and he gives career guidance and inspirational speeches at many places and on many mediums. He has overcome many setbacks personally and challenges. He faces his challenges with passion and perseverance. That is throughout his life. One of his success principle is being ever a student and never a master. Has helped This has helped him to connect with various people across the globe and also learn from their experience of life. Sir, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Namaskar and thank you very much. And I'm extremely happy to be with you, all of you, in this wonderful evening. And then feel free to ask any question. Before all these things, hope all the listeners, those who are listening, whatever our Tanmay has told, some of you maybe think that Dr. Kumar has done a great job. Personally, I don't think so because I'm an ordinary man, come from a very, very ordinary background, from a lower middle class family. मेरे जैसे आदमी, if a person like me can do, means any one of you can do. Why
Awesome.
anyone? All of you can do. On that day, I would like to sit and watch your achievement. I consider that as the most happiest day in my life. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. And that brings me to my first question. People use rocket science as a metaphor to describe difficult things. And you have become a space scientist in other things. So, why did you become a space scientist?
Okay, it is a customary that before I start any of my talk, first and foremost, I would like to give my due respect to my guru, my senior, and our beloved ex-president of India, Dr. Abdul Kalam sir. With salutation to him, I would like to start my talk. Okay.
Yes.
Your question is that why everything is referred as is it a great science like rocket science? Like that. See, the idea is like that. The rocket, whether the space science or the nuclear science, will not be sold by any country. You have to develop of your own. That means, for example, you want to have a car, a car engine. You can always pay money and get the technology. Okay. You want to make some machine, you can pay the money and get technology. Know-how is transferred. Only nuclear as well as the space science technologies you have to develop of your own. Means each country has to develop of their own. This is the first and foremost challenge for any country, any scientific field of that country. That way they say that you have to start from scratch and reach. If you recollect some of the pictures, if you go to our website and see, Kalam sir and then Arvind sir, they used to carry the rockets and the cycle, You might have seen some pictures. So from that level, we have reached to Mars today. You can understand. That is why they say that you have to develop everything of your own. That is not rocket science, yeah, it's very difficult. Like that, this is the always quoted.
So, why did you choose to become, or why did you become a space scientist?
Yeah, honestly speaking, I'm very straightforward. Uh, I just went to Ahmedabad for the food because we are laid back about 45, 50 years back. As I told you, I'm from a very, very poor background. First and foremost, my father and mother used to say, "You go to any job, you should earn money and then send money to back to my home." That was the first sentence. To be honest, when I went to Ahmedabad, it was very difficult for me, and then it was just a 760 rupees salary. For my maid, I'm paying about 6,000 rupees. You can imagine that is the condition in 1978 I'm talking about. And then that was the start. Luckily, God was so kind. I was able to work with the great scientists like Krisharati, Yashpal, and then Dr. Ramadran in PRL, Physical Laboratory. We had tie-up with this SAC, that is Space Application Center, ISRO in Ahmedabad. So I consider that I'm very lucky to work with such a great people. So Chetnis, for example, Professor Chetnis, they're all the great chums of ISRO. So then what happened? Very first satellite, I got an opportunity to work. So slowly start climbing, and today I'm here in this condition. So this is a blessing from all those great scientists of our country.
Amazing, sir. Thank you so much. You have been in the satellites and you have done major contribution in the satellite sector. Which is your favorite satellite and why?
Yeah, because the very first satellite, see, I was working always on geostationary satellites. So first very satellite we made Apple, sir. Apple is not the Apple which you eat. Ariane passenger payload experiment. It was an experimental satellite. That was the learning stage. We undergone a lot of problems. See, what I want to tell all our listeners, success is not come in one day. You have to work hard. Repeat. That's why as a persuasion is very important. Keep pursuing, you'll get definitely result. Okay. Most of us, as Thomas Alva Edison told, no, most of us will give up. We know that we have reached almost 80%. It's not possible, we give up. But when you turn back and say, you are very close to success. So like that we started. My favorite satellite is INSAT 1B. This is the first successful satellite. Although it is we got it from Ford Aerospace, American agency. We want to learn in the beginning. 4 satellites we purchased from outside. We learned things, and then we started putting satellite for them. That is the success story of ISRO. The beginning, I came to you, I started learning, and then getting this to it's at A, B, C, D. 4 satellite we purchased. A was not successful. It has worked for 6 months. B was very successful, where I got lot of experience, in-depth knowledge about the satellite and all. And I also got training from specialists from Ford Aerospace, America. So that has given me the lots of confidence. Then slowly we started INSAT 2 series, 3 series, 4 series, GSAT series. Now we started making a lot of satellite. Not only that, we started putting satellites for France, started putting for British. No, not that they cannot do. It is virtually cheaper for them to come to India. So we got the opportunity, and then we started working. So like that, the INSAT 1B is my most favorite and my teacher, you can say.
Okay, so you love that satellite because that gave you immense experience and you
Yes.
have been able to evolve all the technology based on that.
Yeah.
Amazing. Sir, a question related to the geosynchronous satellite. Everyone in the world is using GPS. That's American technology. We have developed our own
NavIC.
NavIC. So for that, so how do you think? How would you compare these two? And can normal people have access to NavIC?
Yes, definitely. You see what happened? What is the idea when GPS is given free of cost? Why at all we want to make a satellite? That would have been a better question. Okay, when you are, why already GPS available? Why you
Yeah.
are making it? That would have been a more precise question. See, GPS is basically from foreign. GPS, Biden, or Galileo. All these things are different country. And in case these GPS are also used, I'm not going much depth answer because it is not a forum. We are using for the defense purpose and all. For missiles and all, we take these references to target upon. Suppose if the relation between the two countries are not good, like for example Russia and Ukraine, if they turn off there, then your everything will go bad. So it's called self-reliance. More better the self-reliance you have always better life you lead, the comfortable life of your country. See now Ukraine is depending on so many countries, whereas we are not like we want to have our own. So then we made the called Navik. Navika, matlab who takes you. You know, Navik meaning meaning of Sanskrit is that who navigates you. This is come from a language called boat language. Navika means who rows and then takes you the boat. That's the word, the Sanskrit word we could know. So we put 7 satellites in different places called IRNS satellites. This is Indian region only. We are not interested in giving to everywhere. So we want to concentrate our own India plus few thousand kilometers around it. We should be able to navigate not only on land as for the ship, all those things, coastal guards and all. So this is the reason we have put this satellite. First, is to have a self-reliance and our own system, and get in case of emergency, we can use our own. Now we are already going up with some of these outsourcing that devices. It is going to come very shortly to the common man's reach.
Amazing. Sir, I want to ask you about your first day in ISRO. How was your first day in ISRO?
Uh, Actually, honestly, most of us, even to recent past, you people are not knowing what about ISRO. ISRO was doing wonderful job. See, uh, only after when we show to the world that there's a water on moon, and when we show to the world that we have put a Mars with a very, very meager amount, less than making a movie, then people start liking it, particularly our Indians. Now they have got a lot of love to the ISRO. They were not knowing actually our own abilities. Now people were working hard day and night. People were not recognizing. On the other hand, if a movie star comes, everybody will go behind him. Okay. If a Dr. Suresh Kumar comes to Ahmedabad, nobody notices. If a small movie star comes, everybody will go behind him. So this is the world we are having. We should change it. Now, people, when you put an ATM card and draw your money in Germany, and then your account is in Ahmedabad, what amazing technology behind it. These are the hard work put by hundreds of thousands of scientists, engineers, day and night. But people do not know. That means you media people, whether it's a podcast or a broadcast, you must convey this type of message to the common man, the students, and especially the younger generation. See, such a great job is done. So then people will start developing the scientific temperament to them. Then the country will develop. Okay, that is the idea. When I went to first day, the more of my honestly, I was just, let's say 21, 22 years old boy, like, or a man, like, and then it was a great surprise for me. In fact, no, I was not knowing Hindi, not going Gujarati, and then Gujaratis they speak less English, then I used to face a lot of problem, and it was exciting when I see this antenna, such a huge antenna in Ahmedabad. I was just, I used to read in books, but when in reality, it was very exciting. When I see these great scientists, they were moving like common man. That is it was something like exciting. So I really enjoyed, and slowly I used to get fear to talk to them. Then slowly when I go talk, they were talking like very, very common man. No, not like meeting a Amitabh Bachchan or meeting a Tendulkar. Such a great people, and then they're so simple. Arey bhai, Bhagwan either hai, why you are going to temple? That's the kind of approach I started. So then in ISRO has got such a nice work culture. I want to very happily say that it's a temple for me. Okay, for others it may be the office. First, if there's a temple, there's the ISRO means first I choose the ISRO to go to ISRO. ISRO has given everything for me. The research, the knowledge. You can straight away go and approach any top people. There is no hierarchy like in defense and all. Military and all. If you go, you cannot meet next person. So this is not there. So and if you have new idea, you can always convey to them. And they say that even I can go directly meet director. They say, please meet me at 5:30. I give some 15 minutes. If you find that they are interesting, they will encourage you. This is what made me do. Although I got so many jobs to go, even now they're offering me outside India, but I don't want to. I love my India. I love my India. I want to work for it.
Can totally relate, or I can understand the work culture there from reading the books of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, Wings of Fire, and he shares all his experiences there. And you mentioned about celebrities and real people who are working hard and are backbones of things and all the technical things that we are using right now. So that was my main focus, and to bring expertise from all backgrounds. And ISRO and space science has been a particular favorite of mine. I want to share my first experience of going to ISRO. So I was 10, 11 years old when I visited Bangalore in ISRO. I was able to see the making of first Chandrayaan, and then went and saw the computers and PCs with big screens where they were tracking all the satellites. And then there was some fun stuff to check your weight on how it would be on different planets, and so all those interesting things. After this, I went and gave a speech about this visit. Of course, I also visited the aeronautical center. I went and gave a speech in my boarding school about this. And since then, till I graduated from the school, everyone used to call me scientist in school.
Very nice. Very nice.
So that's the, at least I'm scientist by heart. No matter what I do, I'm always trying to explore and experiment with things. So
See, basically what I want to say to you and all those listeners, scientist matlab aisa nahi hai, you should have a brand, you should have a curriculum. The top scientist of the world has come from very, very ordinary background. Edison, you take Edison or anybody, or your Faraday and all. If you have got a concept of, I want to do something, you can do in any field, not necessarily space. You can do anywhere. So you should be a very observant. If you're observant, you can know the problems and you can attend. So it's not that you must be go to IIT, get your MTech and PhD. It is not like that. Your approach should be scientific. That's the only thing I want to tell. Okay.
Amazing, sir. What is the scientific temperament according to you?
Yeah. See what happens. Like 4W, YW, 1H, we say no. Why it, in your mind always you should get the question why it is happening. Who made it? What is all about it? No? When it has happened, 4W, and how it is done. See, for example, when it's working, how our signals are going. I'm talking from Bangalore, you are sitting in somewhere else. How the signals are going. When you start getting that question, yes, I'm talking, the mic is there, there's a video is there, it collects and goes to the wire, it goes to the antenna, and then it goes to the nearest station. They will transmit, that will go to satellite, 36,000 kilometers. Again, it comes down 36,000 kilometers, goes to Ahmedabad, wherever you're sitting, and then again receives and comes back. And all this happened in less than a second. When that type of questions, when you start, or you're going in a bike, who made this bike? How it is done? Hundreds of people you go and ask if they are using telephone. You ask who is invented telephone. Nobody knows. You are daily using the mobile. You don't know who is invented. That is what our pathetic situation of our country. We are not educating what really. On the other hand, you tell me which tie is wearing, which lipstick she is putting. Everything they will tell. See, okay. That is what we are. That is where the scientific temperament is very low in the third world countries. Okay, when you start telling that, when you have this type of questions, now, when you after going back, how I am recording, where it goes to record, what is cloud, why cloud, where the cloud, this type of questions should come in, then your scientific temperament increase. And then when this start coming, when this start coming, you will not have any enemies in the world. I don't have any enemies in the world. I'll go to every part of it. Everybody is my friend. Everybody is good. See, one small example I'll give. See, for example, this pulse, you are putting pulse for polio. If the inventor, Johann, he would have kept that one for himself, all of us would have become langda hodate. Means we would have all become lost our legs and all. He has not done that. This vaccine, I wanted to go to everybody. Everybody, this world is mine. This is what the scientific community thinks. It is not for me, it's for everybody. If a mobile inventor, Babbage, he would have kept himself, we would not have got mobile. Cooper said, oh yes, you should go to Commonwealth. And he started bringing down the rate so that it should reach a Kabaddi wala, yeah, even Panipura wala. That is a kind of approach. Okay. These are the things we start taking.
So curiosity of asking why questions behind all these things. Why, how, what, and all these questions.
IW1H.
5W1H. So listeners can think how are we talking from two different locations, and how is this reaching the podcast, reaching to your headphone and then to the ear, and beyond. And second would be to share whatever you discuss and build ideas on ideas and grow together. So yes, absolutely. And it's so easy nowadays. Many of the questions you can just ask on Google and find out. And if there's not something available, you can ask on Quora. And then Dr. Suresh should also answer you there.
No, what I'm saying is, very easy. Life has become easy. And then you have a resource. All because of technology. See, if you 100 years back, 200 years back, it was not possible. So only rishis and all the sages, they were scientists those days. To reach them itself was difficult, You have to stage.
Yeah.
Now the technology is so good. You have some doubts, simply type question and answer.
Absolutely, sir.
Continue.
Sir, what is your favorite telescope?
Actually, I used to use 2-3 things. One I used to get from office. You want for the small amount or?
You can tell both. You can tell on a space level also and for personal use also.
No, see what happens for personal use and all about 5,000-6,000 rupees. I'll refer and tell you. I'm not recording the name. I'll tell you. Don't go for a very big. Link. Yeah, I cannot put it too much big because it's all very expensive and then we get from the office. You go for about 5,000 to 10,000 rupees. That is sufficient. And then you should go. The mirror shade should be not more than 4 to 5 inches, so that you can definitely see, and that is the best thing you can go. So, if you ask me, I prefer AstroSat or a Hubble telescope. That is this is where we can see outside the much kilometers about the space and all, and we can collect the data and then bring it into the computer and work. So these were common when what I told is that one. Okay, next.
Sir, ISRO has made a name for itself in the world with the Mangalyaan mission, first ever organization, government organization, to send it on a first attempt at a very affordable
Low cost.
price, at a very low cost, very cost efficient. So this is just one example, and then ISRO has come in the news. Even for Indians, I have got to know about this. This podcast is international. We have more than 50% listeners who are from out of India.
Okay.
What would you say about ISRO that other nations can learn, or what is the thing that ISRO is being a leader in?
Okay. First is actually foremost, you see, ISRO as a government organization, our priorities are different. Our first and foremost priority is not to show to the world that we can go to Mars, we can go to Shukrayan and all these things. Okay. First and foremost, our aim is to make India totally communication reliability and then self-sustainability. Okay, that is first point. Secondly, coming to the disaster warning. Third one, coming to all the cyclonic events. So these things we always concentrate. All those satellites which we are putting to take care of our own communication requirement, television requirement, and this weather forecasting requirement, disaster warning, especially some of the coastal region of India is really, really facing problem in monsoons and post-monsoon. You might have seen in Andhra coast or in Kerala and this, no, these are all our prime area. And next comes to our own navigation purpose. So this is the thing we are got. Parallelly, we do the interplanetary missions like Mangalyaan, Chandrayaan, Shukrayan also we are planning. Aditya we are planning to go study on sun. So now what we can give to other people, the countries from different, if they are the third world countries, those
Just a note: Mangalyaan is for Mars, Shukrayan is for Saturn,
Venus.
and Venus, and Aditya is for Sun.
Sun. Okay. Okay.
Yes,
So,
please
okay,
continue.
okay. I'm sorry because some people are from outside India. A very good thing you've done. See, this is the Shukra means we call Venus. So that is the Sanskrit word. Mangal means the Mars. That is Sanskrit word. Chandra means we call the moon. This is how we try to keep the names. So Aditya is sun. So that's why we have kept that name. Okay.
And there is another Gaganyaan also is there, right?
Gaganyaan is actually sending a human to the space. So in the world, only Russia, America, and China has proved this. Now we are also on that way. Miss the human beings will go and orbit the Earth and come back. So this is
And what are astronauts called in India, like cosmonauts in Russia? Do we have a Sanskrit name for astronauts?
ऐसा कुछ है I will discuss later because
Okay.
okay.
Yes. Coming back to
Normally,
ISRO.
there on PRO station, on PRO team is there. They will be trained to connect with some of this. Generally, they will try to connect with the Sanskrit word like Brahmos, Prithvi. There is one team is doing that job. Okay. Now our aim is to just see that our people will go and then they will come back safely. And re-entry is very, very difficult. That is the most toughest job. That is, we have proved with some other RLV kind of different mission. So the first going is easy, and when you re-entry into this one, you pass through a mesosphere. Mesosphere countries say noxylucent clouds. It will burn out. Most of the things will burn out. Either Kalpana Chawla or our
Yes.
Challenger, all these things happen doing that. So this is what first we have to prove. When that is done, then first we'll send to humanoids, means like a artificial dolls, like which you can understand also with built-in artificial intelligence. After proving that, real human beings. That's why it's called Gaganyaan. Now, to other people those who are living in different parts of the world, my friends, actually we have already done a lot of technology transfer. We also launched a satellite to so many countries like UAE, even some of these British or even European countries, even Americans, and then they Cobra, they sent us payloads along with our satellite. Like for example, Chandrayaan 2, we had some of these payloads from different parts of the world. So we have got technology transfer in there. So you can, if you are a third world country like small countries, you can always approach. Even for Japan, we have done. Even Korea, we have done. So like Brazil, we have done. So like so many things. There is a all over the world, we have a collaboration to do that thing. If anybody interested, they can always approach, and there is a procedure. If you follow the procedure, you can definitely transfer technology to the best possible.
So, what are the future plans of ISRO? And there was a question which you answered: if ISRO is going to have their own starship or its own starship by 2030, spaceship by 2030.
Actually, sir, to be honest, Still everything is in papers. It's not that easy. It's very, very expensive. Whatever the ISS station which we are having is funded by 13 or 14 different countries. Okay, and not even single Asian country has funded that. You can imagine so much of money. So much of money involved, and then more than that, first making a station and orbiting it and maintaining also very, very expensive. Very, very expensive. Every now and then from ESA, I was in ESA, European Space Agency in French Guiana. We will send very 15 days, 20 days. Food supply should be there. All those things are there. It's not that easy. Okay, and then these are the hopes. Like for example, recently China wanted to do, they were not able to do it. Okay, so it has fell down about last April or something like that. Soon after Corona time, no? They tried and their main beam has fell down, and they could not. It fell down around near Mauritius, about some 70, 80 kilometers away from Mauritius. Something. They were not able to do it. So the only ISS station is not an ordinary joke. We need a lot of time. One thing. First, we have to prove the first Gaganyaan. That is our first greatest tough and challenging job for us. Whereas satellites and both geosynchronous or sun-synchronous, like polar satellites are well proven, well established formulas are there. So these things we'll do it. Then Gaganyaan will do it. Then slowly we take step by step. And Chandrayaan 3 is on the line. So because of the corona, everything got postponed. All these things should have been completed by this time. So this is how we have to. Lot of challenges there in coming days, and we are going to do it. We are very confident. It may take some time, but definitely we'll do it. This,
Sir, sorry.
Tell me.
I was asking, sir, you mentioned about scientific temperament and people to have curiosity. So how can ordinary people contribute to space research, space science, and to organizational institutes like ISRO?
Okay, it's very easy. See, the things are slowly changing. We have incubator centers. Okay, we have done in different parts of the India. Like so one is some are in south side. We have in Coimbatore. We have in Orissa. Now we have in northern and we have northeastern. Also, I think Bhopal. So many places we got some. Right now we have got some 7 or 8. I'll just update. Get the later update. So incubation centers. If anybody has got, even school or anything, anybody, I'm telling you, whomsoever listening to this, you have some novel ideas, please come out with and go to incubator center and present your case. Okay. If there is some nodal officers will be there, if they find, definitely they'll make use of it. Point number one. Point number two, so many people will think that they make a small thing, they think I have done great thing. It is human tendency, nothing wrong. Okay? Especially that age is there. At the small age, they think that I make some dispenser of this, sanitizer I have invented. So you observe, small boys, they say, I CEO, they write CEO, this I'm doing this one. But actually, when you're talking about in the international level and national level, it needs to be scrutinized at proper level and all. So, when they go to incubators, they will educate you what kind of work you should do. Whatever. If you have got any novel ideas, definitely welcome. Not only so, even NASA also will do it. So, science always say that please welcome. It's open to all. You have better idea, please give it to me. I think it's 5. If you think 5.5, okay, welcome. That's what we should prove. That's all. That if prove, we'll do it. So go ask people to go to incubator center, and then we conduct a lot of this one, outsourcing and then outreach committees. We go and to educate the students, especially in World Space Week in the October. People go to different small villages and educate them all these things. So if anybody is interested, they can always come forward and show it. Absolutely.
That was very interesting. Can you elaborate more on the World Space Week?
Yeah. World Space Week is almost in the October, I think second week of October. 1 week we want to outreach to these small schools, institutions.
We as in people of ISRO or?
ISRO will conduct some like quiz, like competitions, and they will invite a lot of young scientists. No? We give some prize and all. We educate them. What are they like Gaganyaan? See, they should reach the common man. So at that level only we want to tap. So that is the idea of ISRO. So that by the time they reach, say, some 15, 16, they will get that interest that I must do something to my country. I must do something to my development, not to humanity itself. No, that type of approach will start. When that type of approach, people start going towards science and scientific community, scientific temperament. They'll become a great scientist like Abdul Kalam or Vikram Sarabhai. So they will all become like that in their coming years. So this is the idea of that World Space Week.
And there are a couple of examples which come to my mind. There was a photographer from Pune who has taken very detailed screenshots of moon and then stitched them together. So that I don't know if ISRO is using, but NASA and other agencies are using to find where are the minerals, and the color really looks different at that zoom in and that kind of details.
That's okay. Because what happens, very straightforward, I tell you, whatever the experiments, all these things, this at student level or at home level you are doing, no? Honestly, you don't have that much big equipments, you don't have that sophisticated say, radiometers and all. See, in satellites, when you put, we can, radiometers we use, it sends a beam and pinpointly we can say this is where this type of bauxite is there or minerals are there, where the resources are, how forestry is there, how forestry is getting eroded. And what is that type of accuracy? You need a big, by having a small telescope, you can imagine that I can do many things like Hubble or something. Okay, it's impossible.
So he what he did was he had I'll attach the links. He has a good enough telescope. He's a space enthusiast.
Okay,
So he clicked photographs, and what we do is when we click just one photo, we cannot zoom in much. It starts getting pixelated.
understand.
So
Stitching.
so he zoomed into each and very small segments of the moon, and then he stitched all those photos together. So he's getting a pixel ratio of many couple of 30 to 40,000 pixels or something. I might be
Okay.
wrong, but much more. And second example I wanted to share was there are many news which I hear that somebody has analyzed the data from Hubble or other space
Yeah.
agencies and then able to find out which are the new planets, or
Yes,
just
yes.
through exploring the data able to come out with
Yeah, yeah, I mean,
discoveries.
a good idea. Fantastic. See, in fact, we again, especially our Insat 3D, all this data is openly available. You go to www.imd.com, so everything is available. You can in fact rain prediction, all this. You can do it yourself. Every day we take pictures of our VHR picture, very high resolution element. This is good to public. The data is available. You please do it. We are very happy. See, it is like library. No, books are available. If somebody wants to read, please read. Welcome. And then you give. I read and I understand something. You also read and you understand in different way. Our interpretation different. Our idea is to come out together. Our idea is to make this humanity comfortable, and then the life should be of every individual on this earth should lead a good life. That is the idea behind it. If somebody does, oh, please do it. There is no problem. And then you can present those articles, those valid data to incubator centers. Welcome. No problem.
Absolutely. Thousands of other eyes looking at the same problem
Yes,
or
yes, yes.
solving the same issue might
Exactly.
come up with new things. Some details might be missed out or skipped over. So, as doctor is
Very
suggesting,
concept of
encouraging.
science, very concept of science itself is openness. Why you are having some idea? Please come. There is no problem. Now, when I calculate, it has come this much. Welcome, no problem. And then it is good, but more and more people join together. Research will go much deeper. Most welcome. Please go ahead.
Sir, what is the thing that fascinates you most about the space?
See, actually, space is an eternal. There is no end. Okay. Uh, when you start understanding, first and foremost, we think that we are nothing. इतना बड़ा जगह में we are nothing. First and foremost, it tells you yourself that there are a lot to learn, lot to know, lot to see. The universe means the solar system itself is a small dot. In that Earth dot, in that like if you keep coming down, no, we are nothing. That type of thing is there. Then it makes you to open up your mind and learn more and more and more and more. So and then we have so much of resources, so much of technologies are available now. See what happens if you are having a telescope and sitting on your home and there can be clouds, there can be atmospheric disturbance, there can be a lot of mesosphere. You cannot do it. You are going above all these things. You got a telescopes, probes. These probes will give you much more detail. Those data is freely available. Make use of and try to know when you start knowing that अरे भाई इतना बड़ा सागर में we are nothing. So that will start making you to learn more and more, and we start becoming we are nothing. I told you in the beginning, no, I am an ordinary man. I am nothing. I am not Amitabh Bachchan. I am not Tanulkar. I am an ordinary man. So that type of feeling when it comes, your openness will come, and then that's why I told you, I want to be ever a student, never a master. We start learning till
So,
last.
what news about space or what news about new discovery by hearing that your ears just stand up? Or what is that thing that excites you about space as a whole?
You see, when new challenges are coming. So, for example, now the latest challenge is the self-eating satellites. You understand?
Ah,
Self-eating. So this is some new technology is going on. In this record, I have already put some data in this LinkedIn and all. I will not go much detail, but because it is totally confidential. But I'll give you this the just
yes,
just
that is my upcoming question. So good you are talking about it. Yes, let's
See,
hear
what
that.
happens actually now, see, when the more and more satellites are being put by everybody, your students are putting, that area is becoming junk. It's called space debris or junk. So if junk increases more, like it will become like your most congested area like Delhi or Mumbai or even Ambawadi area of your area, then the more and more satellites come, so the debris are increasing. When you start putting, there can be a short of collision. So this is one of the great headache to the space world now. Clearance of space debris. For that, some different technologies have been there. Putting a chain and collecting and putting back, and then try to deorbit so that when it comes down, it enters the mesosphere and burn off. So self-eating means we make such a device after like we start doing. Japan is start doing in using the wood as the parts of the satellite. So
Wood,
that wood they're using wood satellites. So it deteriorate over years and then becomes vanish. So that it will be
biodegradable satellites.
yeah, exactly. Good idea. So use of acids, the once that is over, acid will spill over and then burn out. So these are some different techniques here. Because self-heating means after my work is over, I'm going to quench myself. So make way for the other. So this is the concept is going on.
Yeah, you listed 7 to 8 items that can be done. One of them was catching the debris. Is that really possible, or how would
Mesh
that work?
technology. Once some mesh technology has been done, it will go and I have put this in LinkedIn. You can just watch, and then also Corridor. This is done by ESA and tape. So they may open this one, they catch this and then bring it back to the lower orbit, and it will burn out. They not bring it back to Earth. So this is one method. So another method is self-heating, like use of different chemicals to decompose itself. Use of wooden. So like that, so many things are being coming. And then if that is happening, so you're nothing but is cleaning the road so that next person can go. That is in simple word, common man language. I want to say that.
We're talking about space debris, sir. My next question is related to private startups who are in the space. Like Elon Musk is doing Starlink. So there are so many small satellites which have been thrown out in the space. So what are your views on Elon Musk and SpaceX?
See, the Elon Musk is a very challenger person. He takes everything in life as a challenge. If you say not possible, he will see that he will do it. That is how his blood and his soul starts working. Okay, it is so Starlink concept is that one put a small shield at a lower height, so that you can have an internet, best internet, and with high speed. That idea. It is nothing but a ring putting over the Earth. Okay, so this is one concept. Thousands of satellites you put, and then each satellite will have a communication with each, and directly from mobile. Instead of now what you are doing, you are going to tower. Tower has got limitation because when you put a tower, Earth is like your tower is there. When it goes, it touches to the horizon. 40 kilometers. It line of sight will go, and then sometimes tower is not getting, and particularly hilly region like if you go to northeast or some valleys, you will not get signal. No signal. That type of things will not be there because you are directly talking to the satellite. So your mobile will correspond to satellite and satellite will send back. This terrain will not come into picture. This is the concept they are doing. So he wants to do that and then going on.
They
And
have
it will be very
claimed.
expensive. This is not something new. Actually, this concept was Iridium already done with 66 satellites they have done long back, about if I remember, some 16, 17 years back itself. Somehow that project did not come up to the common man's reach. Now he is taking up, let us say.
So they claim that they'll have a wavelength of 30 kilometers, and that can be used to give many GBs per second of data.
Yeah. See what happens when you're talking to mobile. So when first of all your device has to reach to the nearest tower, then tower has to again send it to the Earth station. Earth station has to send it to satellite. Satellite has to receive down, and again that has received at Ahmedabad Earth station. Ahmedabad Earth station should send to tower. Third tower should come to your place where you are sitting your let us say some place, and then you have to receive. So now all these things delay and the bandwidth, all requirements are there. If you can directly go to satellite and come back, you can get it. So this is the one concept. So like
Yeah.
satellite phones we have, that's something.
Yes.
But
Satellite phone.
that is not meant for common man use. It's there's some limitations are there. These questions in open forum we can give the concept why it is not that defense misuse. No, it has happened in
Defense. Yes.
different these terrorist activities and all. Okay,
Yes.
so what we are doing is if you have a this concept of the constellation of hundreds of thousands of satellite, you can straightway concept and come back. In inter-satellite communication also possible to avoid this delay. Going 36,000, coming back to them. It will not be, Starlinks are not at geostationary. It is lower, much lower, around 400, 500 kilometers something. The delay is also less. So these are the advantage. So you can send more bandwidth. So more bandwidth, more data rate. More data rate means high quality pictures you can send. Like in 4K you can send. The quality of the pictures is good.
Yes.
And
Yes.
voice quality will be good. Instead of 192, 132K, you can set up 360K voice. So it's very clear. So this is the idea behind it.
You
Power,
mentioned you mentioned Ahmedabad. So what is the center in Ahmedabad and what is that significance? So
Ahmedabad,
all India's communication come down to Ahmedabad and then they are distributed,
no, it's
or
like
what is
in
that?
a nutshell, ISRO is like this. Ahmedabad actually first place to start space activity with a great doctor, with salute to Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. He is the father of the space communication in India, I can say. Okay, he is the man. He is everything in space. Whatever space, Vikram Sarabhai is the number one. Then only all others will come. He is the man who thought that we can. He's highly influential, everything. He has got everything. Not only knowledge, money, position, everything. Okay. So Ahmedabad was started. So in Ahmedabad, we make the payloads of satellite. If we say satellite, there's some usable part. It's called payload. Like for example, if you take a car, usable for how many? What is the payload? Means 4 people or 5 people, front to back three. They are usable. That is called that type of job is done by transponder. That is called transponder. That is done in Ahmedabad. Okay. First question. Second thing is once you made that one, you need a peripherals like steering. You need car. All these tires. All this. This is called the control system. That is done in Bangalore. Bangalore, what they will do, required solar panels, required control system for the satellite, and a small thrust, all those things in there. When the payload comes to Bangalore, it will be integrated in Bangalore and it will become a satellite. Okay. If you make just satellite, no use. The satellite has to go and sit at 36,000 kilometers to do the work. You need somebody, Hanuman, to take. So that Hanuman is nothing Bahubali, we call it as a GSLV. The rocket will take the satellite all the way from Ahmedabad to Bangalore, Bangalore to go to Sriharikota. This vehicle will come from all the way from Trivandrum and other like Mahendragiri, and all will come and meet at Sriharikota. So now you got a vehicle, you got a payload, you got a vehicle. So it will be made like this. Now you need some place to show it. There we will launch it and it goes. Once launch is done, it has to be taken to required place and put it. That is done by the Hassan MCM. So once that is done, we'll put it precisely in that position and start.
Sir, we talked about Elon Musk. I read that there are 48 startups in India who are working for the space research. What do you think is the motivation for private players in the space industry, or what would you like to say to them?
Yeah, it's very, very good. If anybody is listening, please do it. It's the right time. Even the top companies in the world has come from ordinary car garage. Best example is Infosys or anybody you take, Bill Gates or all those people have started like a startup and now they have become a great giant. Now, because of the pandemic, see the workload is too much, and with the workforce, whatever we have in ISRO, we are not able to launch so many satellites. Then they made a lot of changes in recent this government. They meant that we have to give to the outsource these things, give chances for this like Agnikul, so many people are there. So they wanted to start doing, give small project to them, and make sure that they maintain the quality. That is very, very important. So in even a big rocket, even small parts, one part doesn't work means whole rocket can be a failure. Okay. So yeah, that's why the quality control is very important. So they are giving chance, opportunity for them to do it under the banner of like HAL or LNT, that big giants. Like so, they under for them they can use as a small projects and then make this project and then you can integrate with the final, so that it will reduce the burden on the workforce of ISRO also portion. So that means when we are adding more and more hands and new ideas to come into ISRO, it is what the concept done by NASA also. NASA also did the same thing. They give a concept and give to the institutes, to develop this one. Those proven technologies will brought into that and integrated and stand. So this concept is good. Those who are under this startups, please take this opportunity, work hard. There's a very, very good future for you. Please make use of it. Okay, if anybody is listening, yeah, if afterwards, if you are listening, please make use of this, and it's a very good opportunity. You can grow like anything. It's a very, very vast field, and then a lot of opportunities are there, and then you can not only yourself grow, and you can give to the jobs to many of your youngsters. So this is what I want to, not advise, I want to give a suggestion.
Absolutely. So keep dreaming, and there are many chances for you to access the space and technology with these days. And there was also news that college had launched a satellite from Pune or some other region like that,
So many.
and ISRO also has record of highest payloads on a rocket, right? So
No, a number of satellites in a single rocket, one not
yeah,
four.
number of
Small satellite.
104 satellites of countries around the world in one rocket. That
Yeah,
is
that's a world
incredible.
record. World record. Because 36 was the highest record. We have straightway gone to more than 100.
Oh my God, 36 to 104.
Yeah.
Wow. Sir, I want to talk about recolonizing on other planets. There are two philosophies from one is from Blue Origin of Jeff Bezos and one is from Elon Musk. As Elon Musk says, going and colonizing Mars, but Jeff Bezos is of the thought that escaping gravity is only the biggest challenge. So why does anyone want to go back and get into another gravity? Why not make a spaceship and then we can harvest asteroids and for minerals and so on? So what are your thoughts on both of these, or any one of them should be done, or which one would be more better?
Yeah. You see, actually, all these things looks highly hypothetical. Okay? It's not that easy. Last week I was in Wadiram in Jordan, where this Martian movie was done. And you might have seen my pictures. So I'll send you the pictures. Or your Last Days of Mars. Also, so many movies have been done. See, it's easy to imagine, but to bring it to practical is very, very difficult. Just the race going on between so many countries to reach Mars. Going to Mars, one-way journey is 300 days, 10 months. And the opportunity you get it once in 2 years. Means the launch window, whatever you have. If you miss this, then you have to wait for 2 years to again do it. One way. Okay. One way going and one way coming itself is 20 months you need. Okay. And then what is the amount of the humans going there? And then Mars is a very harsh environment, uncongenial. It's not that easy. Contains maximum carbon dioxide. Only 0.02% also only is there. It's very, very difficult. Setting up, and then temperature variation over a day is plus 124 to minus 87, like that. The fluctuation in a day is very, very high. So it's not that easy. People are thinking, they are imagining. Definitely, but in near future, it is very difficult. First, we have to prove to go at least one mission and come back. If we are able to do it, any country on earth, then we get a hope of doing. Otherwise, it's only imaginary at this stage, not that difficult. But I am not saying that it is not possible, because if you think about 100 years back or 50 years back, let us say, people used to say, in Ramayana, Mahabharata, Rama will sit in Bhulaka and he'll talk, and Krishna will be in Chandraloka, he will talk, and Devendra will be there. So this, we were thinking it's only imaginary. But today, you say, take WhatsApp and then pray, and go for video conference. No, you're sitting in Ahmedabad, you're sitting in Ahmedabad, I'm sitting in Bangalore. So many people are 15 countries. Is it not video conferencing? So at that time, if you talked about some 60 years back, it was looking like imaginary, but we made it. So this is also possible, but there are a lot of challenges. It's not like making a movie. It's really a tough job is there. And then first we have to prove to go to Mars and come back. If that will give a confidence, then further, like as you know, youngsters should join us. And then we are not becoming old, they should take over. Then the new thoughts should come. Then new ideologies should come. When the technology start working, it is possible. So it is not in near future. It will take some time.
What are your views on reusable rockets, and what is the position of that in ISRO?
Yeah. See, what happens is the idea is that every launch we lose some material from the Earth. Okay, so you start burning and goes away; it will not come back, and very expensive also, and technology also. So then Elon Musk thought that why not we get back this? So after doing the job, try to re-land it back and get it back. So that although it is not a perfect replacement, with little refurbishment we can use it. That means let us say about a percentage of some 30%, 40% can be used. So ultimately used to reduce the cost. See, whether you use the wood satellite or you use this different type of propulsion, different type of materials, all this idea is to reduce the cost. So this is what the whole space agency, all the agencies, NASA, ESA, or this one, our ISRO, all are working on that. So that is a concept of reusable. Bring it back and try to use it. Okay, retrading of a tire in simple
Yes,
sense.
yes.
Okay.
So we are, that is in our May
Yeah,
process.
it's on the way.
Okay. So, what is your favorite space movie?
Actually, I used to read some lot of books and all. Our days, Star Wars was the most favorite because something new we never imagined. No, we were very, very small boys, Star Wars, watching that and an imagination. And all those things were, even though at the time we were not even knowing the computer technology, when we were talking about 80, 81, 82, no, at the time even computer was difficult to reach. No, this was the things we used to like. And later, slowly, we start seeing the recent Mangalyaan and all. It's like it's what is happening. We're seeing a movie, in a recent or Indian movie or Martian. These are all highly, fictions, only imaginaries. And then one day it will come into reality. This like this. My opinion, Star Wars was the first, and then everything was something new.
And
I saw.
recently, Martian or
We
Interstellar,
have
how did
seen,
you
we have
find
seen
that?
Interstellar, we have seen, but the age, when we are innocent and we are not knowing anything, at that time excitement jada hota hai. Means now what happened, we know what is happening, and
No,
at that time
already.
we are
Yeah.
not knowing anything. It is possible. When can we go like that type of thing was there? Okay.
Sir, which is your favorite space mission of ISRO or anyone around the world?
Yeah, most challenging space mission and intelligent, economic way, and very, very dedicated mission account to Miss Mangalyaan. That was the greatest achievement. Using PSLV, we have put the uh, orbiter to the Mars. It was a very tough job. It is not that easy. It was not, at the time, GSLV was not there. PSLV used. Using such a small rocket and then taking to such a long distance. And it was the first of its kind, and it was for us also very, very difficult. We never ventured to such a long distance of 150 million kilometers. It was really a tough job. So I feel that it has given not only to ISRO scientists, to the whole world, that is, can be done. So I feel that it is the most happiest moment of my life and my favorite vision of this ISRO.
So, how was it possible? What comments would you have on the team and the leadership?
You see, actually, there is a big think tank is there. It's not one person. When you talk about a small device, hey, he has done this, he has done it, we say. When you're talking about a vision, there's so many people are together. So it's called think tank of ISRO. And each person will give idea. They'll tell the what are the problems you are going to face. All these things they put together. And then in the beginning, we also felt that it's impossible. PSLV cannot put it, doesn't have this one. Then on-off modulation techniques we use, and then we were able to push it and took the advantage of this plane changeover until between the gravitational force of Earth and taking the advantage of the Mars, and then the orbital. Just a lot of complexity we cannot explain in a minute. It's
No,
so.
what I for simple words, how would you compare PSLV? Like, could you give any other comparison of how that was impossible was done possible with
Yeah, but
such a?
PSLV is a very small rocket. Its lift-off capacity is very less. So whereas the GSLV Mark 3 is almost more than double and take it to much higher height. PSLV is designed to put only to lower Earth orbits, about some 800,000 kilometers, and a small weight of 1 to 1 point tons within that. Whereas this can go up to 3.2 ton, up to 36,000 kilometers can go. So that means it's like I can say a big tractor, a big truck. It is like a small car or a van. So it is really tough job to go for a longer distance. So what we started using different techniques. So then we have to conserve the propellant such a way that it should reach up to that. So it was challenging. We tried. It has worked. So that is
What I
why.
had What I had read about was they use the gravitational field of
Exactly,
Earth and
that is
then
that. For every
boomerang
satellite.
with Mars, with Moon,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
what I
went
was
to
saying.
Mars.
Yeah, that is
Can you
always there.
elaborate on that?
Yeah, what the idea is that no, we have a small vehicle. See, going in a car to some distance is very easy. Going in auto rickshaw to for more than that distance is a tough job. So you have to use the propellant conserving technologies. Like on-off modulation, right? Use the burn and then wait for some time, consume, let it go, and again burn. So you need a lot of calculation. You need a lot of planning. You need orbital mechanics requirement, and then or orbit of Earth, Sun, and Mars should be adjusted such a way take the advantage once it leaves the gravitational force of Earth, and others should take over at the same time. Then it goes into the hands of Mars. Then Mars gravity like that. So many technologies there. Honestly, if you can arrange me for one exclusive 1 hour talk on that, I can neatly explain. Then explain this. I can put the
Okay.
equation, I can put the orbit, and
Uh,
how it is done. It's a little bit interesting. Okay. Then
that
telling in a
that would
normal.
be an exciting topic for your
Yeah,
YouTube video.
yeah, okay. Because normally when I go to this interplanetary mission, I'll give in IITs, NITs, this type of talks and all, where I only concentrate that. I will not talk about any other thing. So
Okay.
here we are on a general talk, no? So that is why I felt that I'm not going much details. Definitely I can explain.
So next question is from one of our audience and listeners.
Yeah, what is his
Could
name?
his Twitter handle is Abyss Labs on Twitter. He's based in US, so it's related to aliens. So he says, could uh, could radio repeaters be actually radio transmissions returning back to us from our future selves, or made by aliens?
Okay. I see alien, coming to the point of aliens, we have no authentic answer for that. Still, there are a lot of imagination. There are some planets have got, and then there are some planets, they are much intelligent. So we have not got a concrete proof. Science means what? We need a proof. It cannot be imaginary. It can happen only in movies. So we need. So aliens we have read and we gone through, but we have not got a solid proof for that. That is first and foremost. Second, repeater is what actually a satellite is nothing but repeater. You send a signal and then receive it, amplify it, and send it back. So you are sending a signal from Ahmedabad or a bomb, let us say from Los Angeles. Signal will go there. By the time it reaches 30,000, it has deteriorated. The satellite will receive and amplify it and send it to a different direction. So when you receive that, otherwise you would have taken so many repeaters to reach that place. Every 40 kilometers, 140 kilometers, 140 kilometers. The very idea of using this satellite as repeater, that only. Satellite very basic function is the repeater only. It receives and takes and send it back and pay it. So everybody can listen. So it is possible. Like for example, when you are going for interplanetary missions, we use some satellite like TDRSS. They will read the data of our STS, that is our Challenger or Discovery, one of these. No? They will send it satellite to the satellite, and satellite will send it down, and that will be saved. So these type of things are there. For example, when you are going for interplanetary missions, the signals when satellite travels more and more and more distance, the signal sent down it becomes weaker and weaker. You have to use a very big antenna, very huge antenna, 30 meters diameter antennas. Okay, they're called DSLs. So those things will receive and at different places, like one we have in Spain, when America we have got, one we have in Bangalore. All these things will be integrated. One we have in Canberra. No, all this will integrate and taken. So it is possible. So first of all, ANN is an imaginary. Still, we have not got a concrete. Something is so that you live in. Second is repeater is definitely we have to use. Repeater is one of the methods of sending the distance the data. Okay.
And what about time travel and getting a communication from previous self? It's a
See, these are things. These are all beyond normal thing. What is happening? See, for example, when you are on Earth, you have a defined time. So when the rotation of the Earth completes 24 hours or 23.56, so we have a defined. So we have a distance is done. Once you leave this, okay, go into the universe, there is no reference. There is no reference. See, for example, if you're in a ISS station, every 90 minutes day and night is happening. Every 90 minutes, their day, they're in. So when you go to a satellite, it's much higher. And if you go beyond the Earth's gravity, you're free body. So then you need a different type of reference and different of time reference. So this is the time and this one what is happening. So for our practical purpose, it's not. It's still an imaginary or a fictitious. We can just say. Okay.
Sir, who is the person whom would you like to have lunch with, living or dead?
Lunch with.
Could you name couple of people, living or dead, like people who inspire you or people whom you really thought you wanted to meet, maybe alive or maybe dead? Whom would that be?
Tanmay. I just joking. See, for me, my mother is everything for me. Okay, if you ask me personally, okay, if you ask me as a guru, Kalam sir, because he's everything for me. These two are the living gods, you know. My mother, although she is from a very poor family, she never disgraced me. She only told Mahayatrika. Yatrika means who travels. See, whenever I used to go and come and explain why I went, what is this one, why this equator mein kya hota hai actually, post mein kya hota hai, what is this one, all those things she used to listen. Although she is a school dropout, and she used to tell, you are a Mahayatrika. Mahayatrika means a great. So for that only I am known as Mahayatri. I kept my name as Mahayatri.
So what is Yatrika?
यात्रिका मीन्स यात्री करने वाला है.
अच्छा.
यात्री.
हाँ.
यात्रिका मीन्स कन्नड़ा में का बोलते हैं ना.
Okay.
यात्रिका, महाब्राह्मणा, महाक्षत्रिया, महायात्रिका means
Okay.
a great traveler. That's how the great. I'm known as GIT, Great Indian Traveler. One thing. Second thing, Kalam Sahab, I like to not only I may not be able to sit with him and take. If he takes afterwards whatever leaves, I am ready to take.
Oh
So
my
that
God.
is the kind of respect I have. See, he's a great human, a good leader. He has got so when you say like a utopia, no, the most ideal person and a theoretical, that qualities he's having. He's a very good human being. That is very important. So even we are working, he will himself will stay, and then he may not sit and work, but he will give such a confidence. So we feel like anybody will like. It can be a small school-going boy, or a auto driver, or a panipuri wala, or a president of India, or anybody we like. That is called personality. So I like him very much. Kalam Sahab and my mother, because I taken my mother to space, edge of space. That photo, you know, that photo, and Russians were astonished. Who is this? My mother I'm taking, because she was dead by that time. So that much respect I have. Janani, Janmabhumi, Swargadevi, mother and my Indian flag. You go and observe.
I've seen on the videos.
Everywhere I carry my that Indian flag. Okay.
Yes, sir. So could you give some examples from Dr. Abdul Kalam's life, his way of thinking, or couple of things that we can adopt in our life?
Yeah. First one, it should be simplicity. See, for example, you go to some police inspector or RTO, you cannot meet him. That ego is no. Ego means the ego, edging the God out. When you have ego, the God is not with you. You must respect everybody. Everybody has got some talent. Definitely some talent is there. Something is there. If you start liking people, no, there is no enmity. Everybody you start liking. Simplicity. Even after President of India, himself will do everything. This I don't think any human being, at least I have seen in my life. So this one simplicity is, and knowledge. You should keep learning. Always. Never a student, never a master. Keep learning. Learning. If I come to Ahmedabad, I should learn Gujarati. So that I'll become very close to you. If I go to Africa, I should learn and talk to them. See, you start liking, then you think Vasudeva Kutumbakam. Whole world is mine. Then whatever you do, you try to do. You will not pay. I have traveled all over the world. Not a single person troubled me. Everybody hugs me. You can see my videos. Everybody will come and talk to me. And I have money. I have credit cards. So many. Nobody will trouble. You should love people. These are
Yes, sir.
great qualities.
I can see that quality in you as well, because you have traveled so much, you have experience, you have so many achievements. I was getting anxious, will I get this interview with you, or will I be able to get you on the show or not? But you very willingly and happily you agreed to do this, so I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah, because that's what Kalam Sahab was to say. Always, they go by if you have something. We are not. I'm not in. I am Einstein or I'm a Newton or Kalam. Whatever you know, you must transfer to next generation. If you don't transfer, you're waste. Otherwise, 35 years, 38 years, you learn something. You do it when you go. When you die, you go with you. This is what the concept. That is why I meet about 30 to nearly 30,000, 28, 30,000 students every year. Go to the institutions, tell them about the different projects, and I talk so many subjects, different subjects about interplanetary missions, or satellite operations, or eclipse operations, or even in nature-inspired inventions, how the inventions are come by nature. It's like so many different subjects, and then I get happiness to meet students. And when I go to space, when he says that, look at Suresh Kumar, you can see the stars there behind. It's so beautiful. Same way when I meet the students, I feel that Tare Jimin Par, we are the stars. So really I enjoy talking to students. Anyway, it's a happy, it's my pleasure, and then it's my passion meeting students.
Thank you, sir. That's really kind of you. And Tare Zameen Par, I'll give you a fun fact. I was in the school and I was in the shooting when that picture was shot.
Oh, what is
Actually, so we got to do the whole shoot with the Amir Khan, and it was a fun
okay.
experience. But yes, Tare Zameen Par is a lovely name and a good way to
Yes, yes.
explain the concept. Let us now talk about your travel story, sir. You have traveled 155 countries, and there are just 195 countries.
Definitely.
So, after traveling so many countries, what are your thoughts? How do you feel like?
You see, actually, I was telling 2 days back in one of the talk. Mother Earth has given something or the other to every country, every place. I was in Jordan last week. I was seeing that. See, they don't have oil, they don't have trees, they don't. It's nothing but a portion which has volcanic eruption happened and full of chemical, like Dead Sea and all this. So when you sit outside, you think that what is this? But it's not so. They're enjoying. Their Jordan dollar is 107 rupees of Indian. It means it's much costlier than dollar or a
American
euro or
dollars.
even pound. See, they have got only two things. One is the Wadiram desert, other is the Petra. Only two tourism they're able to earn. And otherwise everywhere chemical. There's a place called Dead Sea, Dead Sea, everything is dead means it's only chemical. That they convert into energy, means that they convert into a spa, convert into a this one Dead Sea product for facial, all this thing, no, that is a make. So that means everywhere something is given. You must make use of it. That's one thing. Destroying is 5 minutes. So converting that into a good thing is really a tough job. When you start doing that, you start doing. If you go, to, say, I go to the African countries, I enjoy. There's no problem. My approach to them is I don't bother about the comfort level. My approach is different. Why is such a big nail is there? A river which can go up 6,000 plus kilometers non-stop. Where is the source of water? It passed through 7, 8 countries in the desert, and even ships are going, means small launches. That means somewhere it is more than 2.8 kilometer width, and then depth is more than a few meters. Because it has taken how much water, where it's coming. Then I went and saw searching, going and deep and deep and deep, and I was really worried. I paid some money to the locals. Language is not there. We went there to see the source of Nile. Where is Nile? There, the artificial aquifer is taking place. A trapped water, it comes like a spring and start supplying. And that water will come and meet and at Sudan, another white Nile and blue Nile meet and goes up to Alexandria. You can imagine such a long distance. Where the source of water? Rain cannot be there throughout the year, where that water. This type of thing, curiosity. What is happening at the equator? Why it's happening? Why Tulsi Sham? I went and searched in Tulsi Sham. I was not able to get, put
What is
some
that,
local.
sir?
तुलसी श्याम बोल के एक जगह है इसमें गुजरात में इन गुजरात सॉरी फॉर अदर्स नो हिंदी देयर एंटी ग्रेविटी दैट यू गो टू दैट park the car and make it neutral, you start going up. It looks like it's actually optical illusion, but to see and witness it be very interesting. So this type of thing make me to go and see the world and experience. That is most important. So if you experience what you read, you will really enjoy your life. That's why I go to different place and experience. What is Coriolis effect? Aurora Borealis, what Northern Lights, why it happens? Only happens in Greenland. Greenland was my 100th country. I went to Antarctica, it was 50th. Like that, I try to understand. Such a huge iceberg, how it can float, how icebergs can happen. These type of things make me to go on to different countries and enjoy.
So scientific temperament from space to actually going to places and
Yes,
finding
yes.
out how is these things are happening,
Exactly.
observing for your own self. I think
Exactly.
that's the drive. And in one of your video, you mentioned that you were selected to go to space, but that
Yes.
mission cancelled out. But you didn't stop there. You went ahead. You went to Russia. You went to different organizations. you felt zero gravity, you have been to the edge of space. So how was that all possible?
Okay, it was in late 1994. After Russians have sent a person, Rakesh Sharma, and then ISRO wanted to send one person from NASA. So that was the Indo-American project. So then they started selecting. So from all over India, nearly 870 different scientists have taken, like Ahmedabad, ISRO, Trivandrum, Bangalore, all these things. So they started screening based on the so many factors, physical abilities, intelligence test, IQ test, all the things. So finally they made it to four number. They shortlisted. I was one of the four shortlisted person. I was so happy. If that would have happened on that day, I don't think this introduction was required. In the beginning, you give 3 minutes introduction, not required. You would recognize me like Tanulkar, Amitabh Bachchan, or Shah Rukh Khan or something. He's the first
Kalpana
scientist.
Chawla.
Scientists have gone from India to that. That has not happened because Challenger got blast off and seven scientists were killed from different parts of the world. Then NASA decided, no, we will abandon this. We will not take any of the astronaut from outside India, outside America. So that was a great disappointment in life. So believe it or not, sometimes I used to get up in the night and then I have troubled my wife. My wife is also a space scientist. She also with
Oh,
me. Yeah, both of us work
interesting.
for ISRO mein. Udhar we worked and we married and we continued and we retired. So then so many times I used to get up and she was so kind. She was able to withstand all this problem. And one fine day I thought, why? You're not able to send me to space. It is not possible. Crores of rupees and technology was not there in India. We have to depend on either Russia or America. It's not in our control. Let me see the whole world. It is in my control. So one day I took decision, and I told my wife it's possible. But at that time, it was really looks very crazy, like say, impossible thing. We were getting hardly some 2,000, 3,000 salary, and then thinking of going to all over world. She told me, it's very difficult to go in AC two-tier from Bangalore to Delhi. You are thinking of going all world. It is possible. It will work like that. And although at that time, even today, I told in many of the TV interviews, even in abroad, everything. So when it, like you asked one question at space station, it will come. We have to have that. Then 15 years, we start saving the money. So people were laughing at me. People were joking at me. It's possible. Nowadays, same people, whole world is coming and ask me, sir, can you have a picture with you? Can you have an autograph with you or a photograph with you? It happens. So what I want to tell the people, don't give up. Never give up. It's possible. It's possible. And I told an ordinary man like me can do, cannot do, anybody can do. So then we started saving, and slowly, I started saving the leave, holidays. We need time to go because we cannot get leave. So one said we start saving the leave. Once we start saving the money, we got some lump sum money. We start slowly going one by one. Then initially I want to see the world, and then when I start because we should see the satellite and Google Earth, all those things. When you see, then such a great things are there. Why not we go and watch? So then the scientific temperament, the quest, what is it? What is the Dead Sea? How a man can float? Why even so this type of thing will made me to go step by step, I start seeing whole world. If I complete 40 more country, there is no land for me to see. I've gone to the bottom of the ocean to edge of space. Everything is there. So one of the print media is written there. Dr. Kumar has left his footprint everywhere. So if he completes that, he has to go only to Mars or Moon. Like some joke he has written. Okay, that's how he
So
started.
that is a big example of passion and perseverance.
Perseverance, and then you should not give up. See, soon after when I came back, one girl asked me, "Sir, we'll have some ambition. We'll after 1 or 2 years we'll change." I said, "I want to change." You should keep it continuously in your mind. As long as in your mind, it'll take you there.
Keep the
So
fire burning.
burning. Never give. And once you reach the peak, when you look back, you'll be so happy. This is
Sir,
what.
that makes me ask you another question. Can you give a incident of your life or a period, both professionally and personally, which was the toughest challenge, and how were you able to overcome that?
Yeah, exactly. So that was when I lost this, and Professor Rao called Suresh. I'm sorry, this program has been abandoned. America, we cannot do it. It was very tough, and I was not able to get sleep. Totally disturbed, and then I lost my balance, and I told her it was very difficult. And then making money, and then when you are doing something, you should always keep your target always in your mind and close your ears when you're doing. Please listen to it. When you have a target, when you're doing the job, close your ears. Because sometimes somebody will criticize you. Sometimes somebody will bring your moral down. Sometimes even appreciate. When they appreciate, you divert your attention, you lose and you will not hit target. After reaching target, open your eyes and close your mouth. Others will talk about it. That's what
Wow.
you people are doing because you've seen me how hard I come. That's why recently I got Indian Icon Award in 2 months back in Delhi. That's what I told. It's time for me to keep my mouth and then shut and then listen to the others. So it happens. And the journey is really tough. Hurdles are there. It's not easy. I told no when we carried this, we also undergone a lot of failures. Satellites used to fall into sea. People used to make, but today we are able to launch any number of satellites. The hurdles are there. Take life in the right way. It will take you your right direction. You will reach your target. Nothing to worry.
Passion, perseverance, and just holding on to people
Oh,
and closing
continue.
your ears when you're walking. I just love that suggestions.
Close your ears and do your job. Because even appreciation may also you may fail. If somebody says, why you have done very good with, you will lose your balance. Okay.
Ah, yes,
The
yes,
chaos
yes.
actually when you're doing good job, somebody you're doing means your mind gets that I'm doing very good. That ego bad jayega. So that will make you to make mistake. Don't do that. Close your eyes and clear your ears and keep doing your job. After doing job, don't say that I have done. Somebody else will do. Open your ears and then close mouth yourself and then listen to them what they say.
Sir, I have been to Ladakh myself and I was seeing your photographs, and that was one of my most risky trips and one of the most deadliest roads in the world. Or even the person who was leading the tour met an accident and he injured
Oh.
he got fracture in spite of traveling 20 to 30 times on that same road. So even you have been there. How has your been experience in Death Road in Bolivia and even
Oh,
in
yeah, yeah.
Ladakh and all these places?
Ladakh was not that difficult for me compared to Death Road of Bolivia. Bolivia Death Road it's called Death Road, a dangerous road. A lot of people have died and everything all. And then you get 90-degree cut. So it is carved on the wall of the mountains. So if you make mistake, if there is a ramp place, you will fall ice, no? And they can recover your body, but it's 90 degrees place. If you make mistake, you fall, you will not come back. That's why the word death road of Bolivia has come. So that is really toughest job, and then it was very very difficult. And then I went all the way from here to Bolivia, and then I asked so many people I want to go. No, nobody will come. He said, and but because last evening it was raining. Then finally I told I'm ready to pay money. I came all the way from India. I want to experience this. And then so one person took my hotel number and I paused it. At 9 o'clock, I was sleeping. Somebody tapped my door, and then somebody has come to meet you. Like, and I went, no, there is one person ready to take you because when we see how it happens. See, that's what ये सब नसीब के ऊपर होता है. God will support if you take risk. You take risk and go ahead. There's some person exclusively you call God. I think he'll come and then he say, I will take you. I'm ready to take, but not on bike. I want to go on bike because if something happens, we can bike. He said, I'll take you on car because heavy rain was there and it will be foggy. I said, okay, I'll come. So we are able to do it. And then one time we are just passed like this. And then I was going without, I was not knowing. Then Peligro means in Spanish language, danger. He rushed and come and hold me and then pushed me back. Why? What happened? There is a danger is there. Like that. Then afterwards we came like sunshine. So it is like this. I was just going like this.
90
Don't do
degree.
that. So this type of experience it gives me some immense happiness. So when we come back, like for example, last week I was there, and here everybody is worried. Why are you going at this time? Ukraine war is going on. We are at the Bosphorus Strait, where the Russian warships are going to the Black Sea, so that in Istanbul.
Oh,
I was
yes,
there,
yes, yes.
but nothing happened because I knew. Now I'm not saying that I'm hero or something like that. What I'm saying is, I take a calculative risk many times. I take a calculative. I understand, read it. We came back safely.
Absolutely. I can only imagine that because I was riding to Ladakh from Pune. So
Okay.
Pune to Ladakh and back. So there were a couple of patches like near Zorzila Pass, which
Jazira.
is from Sonmarg to
Oh, you
from
went like that.
Srinagar
Okay.
to
Okay. Not
yes.
via Manali.
I came back through Manali, so I
Okay.
took a full
Garland.
circle.
Garland. Okay.
Yes. So
I did in bike.
that bike
No, I
Royal
was with.
Enfield.
Okay. Understood. I put a
So
lot of
that,
videos, you can just see.
yes, yes, I saw those. So I can imagine that patch and then coming back in Rotang Pass, and there are a couple of patches which are very risky. So I'm definitely looking forward to go to Bolivia now,
Very
and
well.
right there.
In fact, while coming back recently, I got stuck up in Kilong, one place called Kilong, just before Rotang Pass. Then 5 days I was in this one, and then there were a lot of snow falling. We were not able to come, no food. So luckily, they put me in a safe place. And then when they came to know that Dr. Kumar is there, means somebody from local media called Delhi, and Delhi people called, and then one local DC has sent somebody, one range officer came, and then one person came, "Hey, you are safe then." I said, "I am very safe." They also put Indian flag. He
Indian
is safe.
flag.
I take pictures and all. But, sir, any problem you tell me, we will try to lift you by helicopter. Few foreigners also struck up. All of you will take. Then not required, I will go. There is no problem. And finally, I was so lucky. There no the tunnel. What is that one tunnel they made? No, the tunnel
Yeah.
was not completed at that time. You were just even then they allowed us to go through that. So these are the no. Somewhere I feel that some person, some god or whatever, some force is always with me to protect me. So I'm very lucky.
Yes. My bike failed in this Khardungla top, which is the
Correct.
highest motorable load. And they were telling not to wait there for 50 more than 15 minutes because of altitude and oxygen.
Yeah.
But I had to wait there for like more than 45 minutes and then take oxygen from the military people and so on. So, yeah, there is always some force, or always when, as you said, you're passionate about something or you want to do
Completely.
something, it happens. Something or the other happens and makes it happen. So, my next question to you would be
One small thing I want to add, scientific thing.
yes,
When you go, they are all called timber altitude. Timber altitude. The timber means the plants. After some height, some
plants
altitude,
don't grow.
it cannot grow. So this is once you leave Pahalgam, all this Sonmarg and all, after plants cannot grow, it cannot get its required sunlight, required carbon
Oxygen.
dioxide, and required the soil support.
Sorry, carbon.
So that altitude is called the timber altitude. So when you are going much pure, that like Kardunga pass, highest pass, or Discate and all, when you go, no, the recombination of the oxygen will not take place. Means the oxygen from the down has to go up, and then the recombination take. So the number of particles available in the required area is very, the density is very thin. So we need a definite quantum of oxygen for our normal work. So you get into a place called hypoxia, hypoxia.
Yes, yes.
Then you start giddiness. Then you lose your sun. They'll ask you to take Diamox. To lose the Diamox tablets we carry now. When you go to Kardungla onwards, there you put like this. So and then they say slowly move, don't run, because the work done needs more oxygen. You don't get, you will fall sick. You will fall soon. These are the things. These are the
I
things.
think that was happening to me. I didn't realize I was feeling very sleepy. Like I
Yes.
have a video of that. I was just sitting like that and no thoughts, no nothing. I was just sitting like that
Yeah.
till everything got okay. And then I
Hypoxia.
too.
It's called
Yeah.
hypoxia. So that way, I just want to put some scientific thought in your mind, so that what happened, why happened.
Yes,
Now,
yes.
I put ignited your mind. After
Yes,
you go home,
absolutely.
maybe tomorrow you start reading and all this thing. This is what I do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is what I do. Yeah,
So our
anything
body is also so this
slow.
it shuts down all the system. It is
Yeah,
very smart. Like without thinking, it is smart.
yeah.
We accumulate to whatever the danger is, or
So always
so.
I explain with scientific thing. That is a people like. Okay, continue. Next
Absolutely,
question.
sir. So, scientist and God and religion. What are your views on God and religion?
Yeah, basically there is nothing like religion. There is nothing like God. God is not in temple. It's my view. God is around us. In my view, Daiva Manusha Rupena. Those who are listening, please listen to me. It's a Sanskrit word. Daiva means God. Manusha means human. Rupena means in the form. So God is around us in the form of human being. Okay. If I'm in somewhere lost in Madagascar, I went to Madagascar in a deep jungle of Straits of Charles Darwin I was doing. I know when some XYZ will come, who cannot speak, you cannot tell, you cannot. Still, he saves me, takes me, brings me back. No murtiya, jo, whatever in temple, whether it's in a church or a mosque, it cannot come and do that. So God sends like a human being to help you. Okay. Suppose you're in the middle of the night, your car break down, you don't know what to do. Some exercise, what happens, sir? I'll come and fix you. Okay, somebody will come and fix. He may be from American, he may be in German, he can be Indian, he can be anybody. So God comes in that form. So Daiva Manusha Rupena. When you start thinking like that, I think that everything is good. So God is not in temple, God is around us. So this is what the message I want to give. There is nothing like
Wow.
religion. God is around us. Daiva Manusha Rupena. That's why I'm able to survive very well. I have gone to Iran, I gone to Muslim country, I gone to African country. Nowhere. Everybody welcomes me. They give me food. I sleep with them. Next day I'm in 7-star hotel, Hilton, I'm there. One day I'm sleeping in the jungles of Africa, in Burundi. No, I wanted where I meet this pygmies and all. I never, you just see the videos.
Whom
You
did
know.
you meet?
पिग्मी लोग मतलब छोटे छोटे लोग रहता है मींस
अच्छा.
पिग्मी dwarf लोग in the Burundi and then Kigali, you know, that is Rwanda and all deep jungles. They got very low height, you know, pygmies. They are pygmy, very low height, some 3 4 feet. So I spent nights with them. No, I never faced it.
Can you share that Madagascar experience? What happened there?
In Madagascar, what happens? There are two great life science scientists. One is Charles Darwin, another is Wallace. So Wallace did a lot of work in Amazon forest. Charles Darwin did a lot of work in Africa and then Madagascar. Madagascar is fair. So life science means different kind of lives, like insects, all these things. So this traits means that path I want to take. It's called Andesite National Park. I was there for about 4 to 5 days and gone through this. Where all he has gone the same way to experiment this like chameleons and lemurs, different kind of animals and features, species which you are not able to see in normal. So that is what called Straits of Charles Darwin in Andesite National Park. So in the night we go on track all these things. So when I fell down and then big snake came and thought something. Then he said just a remote. And afterwards when he put light, he thought it's a snake. So these are the things. And that fellow he cannot speak my language. Even English he doesn't know. I know. Still he is able to take me, show everything in the middle of the night and brought me safely. So this is what I see. Deva Manusha Rupena. Somewhere some God will send somebody for to take care of you and then your interest. So this is what the experience was.
And I'm sure you have experienced something like this in all your travels around the
Yes,
world.
yes, yes. Every part of the world. And very interesting also.
So, what is on your bucket list next?
Okay, now actually, if pandemic is not there, I would have completed all the 195, 193, 94. So now what happened? Now my all passbooks are, my passport book is over. Now this was the no stamp. Yesterday same thing. Where to stamp you last week in Turkey? I
Oh
was there.
my God.
So simply that. Then if you want, I'll display sometimes in near future. You can just see. So now I'm going for a new passport, and then I want to cover that 40 countries first, and make 195. Then when we'll think of what to do. Then I will select whichever the country is very interesting. I'll go for repeat. Already gone so many times. I don't know 150 countries is counted without repeating. No, like for example, 15, 20 times Singapore, 8, 9 times France, Germany, all, like so many times gone. But I will take only one at least, and also transit I don't take. If I stay one night and day, and then only that country stamp is there. So I'm going to complete next 43 is my 40, not even
and
40, 40.
and what are your plans to travel in India? India is also very diverse
India,
and huge.
India, every part of India I've seen. Actually, always every part of India I've gone. Almost
Wow.
maybe some small pockets, like some of the Odisha and then some small pockets. That also, when I'm see what happened, the most happiest thing is that in India everybody invites me to give a talk. See, for example, 2 months back I was in MP. Miss Swami Karya Swakarya बोलते हैं. Swami means भगवान. भगवान का सेवा करो. So खुद का सेवा भी हो जाएगा. Miss Swakarya means भगवान. So when I go and give some talks, they take care of me. And then money is not a problem for me, honestly. Money is not a problem. And God has given sufficient money. I'm not telling that I'm Vijay Mallya or Bill Gates. I'm having sufficient money to take care of my this one. So I'll go and give talks, and then I'll see the surroundings. And then next city I'll go give some other talks. So like that I start seeing. India also I've seen almost all the places. I might have traveled thousands and thousands of kilometers in India.
Wow. Sir, you have also done so many adventure sports. I'm also a very adventure enthusiast. I've done rafting. My bucket list is paragliding. but scuba diving, everything I've done. What was your best adventure sport, and
Yeah,
what
first and foremost
else
is
you'd like to do?
nothing to beat edge of space, because edge of space cannot be done
Sorry,
very well. Edge
can you
of
repeat
space,
that?
edge of space. Then going at a speed in mid 29 to reach the
Ah,
7G, 8G. 1G is equal to your weight. 7 times your own fuel, and putting that G suit with oxygen, extra oxygen. No, that is the exciting. That cannot nothing can be. It's called incredible adventure. It is hardly entire world 259 people have done. As on that date, but now but inter world I'm talking about. In India, nobody has done. By the time, I was the first person. So that means that is very exciting. Then skydiving. I go and then jump from the sky. At the age of 60, I did this skydiving. At the age of
wow,
64, yesterday, last Thursday, the 10th of March, I did the paragliding from the Veludinis, the undersea. I'll jump from the mountain and then go on the paragliding and land on the blue lagoons of Turkey, on the sea.
wow.
So something they are different. Everywhere I had all. So somebody has written in one of for Suresh Kumar, sky is a playground. They have written like hot air balloon or any type of thing. And first and foremost, I don't have fear. I don't know what is fear. That is first advantages point in me, if you consider.
How did that happen? Did you never have fear, or have you
I don't
overcome
know what
that?
is. I take life as it comes. Where the fear? See, we are applying for a job. If you get job, okay. If you don't get job, you're not going to die. There's another application you can apply. Okay, if you go and approach a person, a big man, and then why to fear? You tell your, say, I am so and so. Okay, it is my limitation. If you accept, I will come. You don't accept, okay, next time I'll come, or say, thank you, sir, and come back. Or if you jump from the water, you're not going to die. Whereas all technology is well proven technology. You're not jumping without parachute. So there is well proven. So fear is not there. So anything we do, it is when you do it systematically. Say, when you are going Kardungla, you have perfect gears, perfect helmet, perfect this one, and proper oxygen. You will not face, because people stay in Siberia. Kardungla is nothing. Minus 24, minus 46. There. We are talking about 0 degree plus minus 1, minus 2 is nothing. You cannot do. So you must gear up everything. You must have a perfect planning. Perfect. I do a lot of planning because I will not travel. Before traveling, 2 months I work, and each and everything I know. Everything is map is there. Accordingly, I will do it step by step. And also I'll go for all the satellite technology I apply into that, like standby. Next, what is the alternate? What is the redundancy? Plan. If one plan A fails, plan B will be there. I'll come. So that's why
Can you
my.
elaborate more on that planning and how you
See, for
were talking
example,
about
okay, let us say,
satellites
for
and that?
example, I'm going to this Vadiram desert, it is Jordan and all. What is that doing? What is significance of this? Why people are doing so many movies in Jordan? Even though they have got America, has got Utah is there, fantastic desert is there. Why they are coming and doing? What is significant? And why it is called red desert? And then what are the things? What is temperature level? And what are the food habits? So I have to carry food also. I'm a vegetarian. I have to carry my food, my own food. So all these things I plan. And then not one way about these flights, about the accommodation, about the what are sightseeing I have to do, what are the temperature level, what kind of clothing I have to wear, and then how much time. All these things neatly planned. If you see my diary, you will know. And one side all type of dresses, one side all the gadgets like drone or a camera, video camera, and then all these things, mobiles there. Other side you come all medicines. What are the medicines I have to? I'm a mini doctor. I know everything about me. What I have to do? I told her, that is why I told Diamox tablet is taken when you are going to,
Ah,
after crossing the lay, you must take that. You take Diamox, there is a vertigo is there, vertigo will balance, then you will not lose that your balance. So like this, I study. I told about some 2 minutes back what is hypoxia. So when you study and go, it things looks easy. So all type of medicines, all type of dresses, whatever clothing you have to wear, where you have to go for shots, where you have to go full, all those things I plan. So 2 months like I'll take to whenever I go. So then there is no problem. Like Siberia or Caribbean islands, everywhere there is no problem.
so you do all the research just as you mentioned
Yes,
from the
yes.
scientific period and your experience in that. I want to talk about frustration. And how does a scientist deal with frustration? Because
Precision.
there's so many tests which fail, or you don't know what is going to happen. You work so hard for that and it is failing. How do you deal with that?
See, it's more of instead of calling frustration, I would like to put a word emotion. See, for example, in Chandrayaan 2, we have put about in 8 to 9 years of tens of thousands scientists have worked day and night. It was really challenging for everybody. Orbiters we have put Mars. Orbiter was not. Landing was really challenging. Hardly some 3 countries in the world has proved that. Okay, so it was a very tough job for us. So finally, after going to such a long distance, thousands of kilometers we went, we orbited nicely. We had in just 2 kilometers before it has landed and crash landed. So it really very painful. So that is why instead of frustration, we become like a child. That is, you see Shivan Saab start beeping like a small school boy. You might have seen. Then
Yes.
Modi has consoled him. See, then whatever scientific community. Look, I have done my effort. I have given my time. Everything. Result is not in my hand. So result is somewhere else. Still, I have to understand. Means next time definitely we'll do it because we understand what are the errors when we come play back all those data. Where are the lacunas? Where we have to compensate it. So all those things we start doing. Next time when you do it, we really release. So that's why I say that instead of frustration, it's the emotional attachment. When you start working on some system, no, it becomes part of your baby. We start treating. So when it doesn't perform what you expected, the boundary conditions, you start feeling that. So this is, I would like to put it as the emotion, then frustration. Frustration, we get angry and throw it. We are not doing that. We can come back. We will not give up. We will definitely come back and get it. That is the scientific approach of a scientist.
Wow. That is
Keep doing.
definitely what we can adopt and learn from the scientists. So what more thing would you say that common ordinary civilians can learn from scientists?
No, it is not every. See, if you think, I don't know, anything in life, you should think positive. Okay. And then be constructive. Okay. Something ho gaya, everybody will not get. See, only 11 people are playing in the match. So there are 130 crores. Everybody cannot become Tanulkar. So somewhere something is there. Even though you have a talent better than Tanulkar, there are some other factors are there. Selection committee. So sometimes it's not your control. So never give up. Try to do something else. If you don't get that, you try to think something. You will definitely reach. Not necessarily should be in only one field. You can excel in any field. You can be a good painter. You can be a good singer. You can be a good scientist. You can be a good player, cricket player. You can excel anywhere. Your imagination should be good. Then automatically things will come. So many times when your intentions are good, some external forces will support you to go to the direction. So this is what I want to tell for all the youth. But don't get into that sedimentary life, glued to mobile or glued to this one. It is a part. It is your food. But sometimes go on, relax, enjoy, mix with the people. Don't go only with Gujaratis. Don't go with Marathis. Go with people, enjoy, learn what is good in them. See, when you go there, you eat their food, relish. Don't criticize, enjoy. So you give and learn. So when you start learning, no, whenever you are having that learning attitude, you'll be always happy. That's what my personal experience. And then you don't feel, see, when somebody is wearing some good dress, you appreciate. One, try to understand why you are wearing this. Oh, in a desert, I have to protect because sandstorms is coming. I cannot come in shorts. Other than when you go to some other place, it's very hot. I have to come in minimum. So like that, try to analyze. If you analyze, life will be the best in my opinion. Anything if you analyze, you get result.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for doing this podcast with me today.
Okay, fine.
How we have crossed a bit over the limit, but what would you like to conclude with? What are your concluding thoughts?
Yeah, fine is actually first and again and time and again, I want to say, I'm an ordinary man from an ordinary background. Man like me can do, he can also do. Okay, anyone who is listening, going to listen, they can also do much, much more than what I have done. And then I don't consider that I have done something great. I am just an ordinary man. Point number one. Point number two is you have passion, you have dream. Not the dream like Kalam Sir, not the dream what you see when you sleep. The dream should not allow you to sleep. Until I want to become, I want to meet as a podcast manager. I want to at least make 100 specialists and show to the world that such a great people are there. Some space scientists there, some sportsman is there. That type of target you should set and keep working on that. You get happiness. Okay?
Absolutely.
You should work with happy, not for happiness. Happiness will come to you. Don't work for happiness. It will not come. Whatever you work, you do with happiness. Automatically, happy will come and tell you. जो भी काम करता है, anything you should do happily, automatically people start thinking, hey, how is he able to do it? Automatically it will come. Okay. This is what I want to tell. Enjoy your life. And then I tell you, there is no next life. I'm a scientific person. I don't believe there's next life and life is all. I don't believe. Even if it all it is there, you may not have, you may be born as blind. So everything God has given. You look good. You have knowledge. You can operate the devices. You can operate. So enjoy life. See this beautiful earth and mix with the people, mix with the culture. Don't put yourself barricade. I don't want to meet Muslims. I don't want all bogus, all West. All are good. We only see good people. Okay, enjoy life and try to learn. So when you start learning, you yourself become student. Then you think low about you. Then you start liking people. Okay, enjoy and then the best life and convey whatever you learn to the other people. That is what is important. Thank you. Anything else?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, sir. This show was, we are honored to have a guest like you today.
Thank you.
I will publish this and it will be available on YouTube as well as Spotify. And
Sure.
as you mentioned, yes, I'm having a target of 100 people.
Yes.
Already we have had a Major General of India who has worked in United Nations Security Forces. We have had a world renowned IVF specialist doctor, and we have had a CEO of a Bitcoin company. We have had an artist. So I'm always looking forward to learn something from the field of your expertise. Like we got to learn a lot of scientific temperament, how to think like a scientist, how to work with scientists. Gave us a lot of examples of perseverance and how when things are not going according to the plan, how you can control things, what are in your control, and achieve the thing and live the best what you want, make the best of what is available. So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Namaskar and best wishes and have a great weekend. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much. To all those, I'm very happy. I really enjoyed. Some of the questions were really interesting, something different. I really appreciate that. And all those other listeners and other participants, feel free to contact me. All my details are available with Tanmay, and then they can contact me.
Sir,
My
you
website is.
on the website and videos, you have given your email ID and phone number. Is it okay if I give phone number and email ID in the
Oh,
show
yes.
notes?
Okay. Only request is if they're calling me, they should call me after 9 o'clock. Sometimes I'm busy. If I don't take, they should not mistake me. That's the only thing.
Okay.
That's why I think he's a very big man, very egoistic, and that I don't want. Please call after 9 p.m. local time, that is Indian time. Definitely I'll answer. They can always.
Sharing your number is only a very big thing, sir.
Very nice. Okay, fine. No problem. Okay. Feel free. And you have any questions about the different countries and about scientific thing, why it is called, what is it? Please ask me question. Because when you're asking questions, you are indirectly making me to learn. If I know, I'll answer. If I don't know, I refer and come back to you. Thereby, you're making me to learn more and more. I want to be a student.
Absolutely, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Good
once
night.
again. Good night. Have a great week.
And where do you live actually?
I am in the Pune region.
Oh, not in
Pune.
Ahmedabad. Okay.
No, I have relatives in Ahmedabad. Where I am talking from is Ahmednagar. So it sounds similar to Ahmedabad.
Okay.
So it's near to Pune. It's called Ahmednagar.
No problem. I will keep coming to all those regions. If it happen to me there, you can just. Okay.
Absolutely, you're most welcome. It's the center of armored corps of the military, and DRDO is there in Pune,
Okay.
and definitely be our guest, and we'd love to have you.
Absolutely. One more thing I just want to know, if those are listeners, friends, feel free to contact me. If any of your institution, colleges, or even schools, if they like to have some talks, I am happy to come and share my experience. Please tell this to all your network. If anybody interested in institution, only thing they should have a good audio video system, because I'm going to play my own videos. Means I'm not going to download something and somebody else, how this edge of space happens, what is this, all those about satellites. Why, like for example, all this technology, all those things I'm going to explain. If anybody is there, please share my number. Okay. Good night.
Okay, sir. Wonderful.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. Connect with me on Twitter and Instagram to get updates on the new shows and to participate on live recordings. All links are mentioned in the show notes. We will be back next week with another fantastic episode.